guys. I'm Steve. We're friends. Speaking of the Holocaust, who likes Disney movies? Yay! I like Disney movies, but I have issues with Cinderella. I think that it's a great story. There's subjects at play like class and domestic abuse and sexism, but there's a part that's always glossed over in every version I've ever seen, and it always bugs me. So if I'd written Cinderella, it wouldn't even be called Cinderella. It would be called Mice Get Turned into Horses! Featuring Cinderella. You know, you got all the usual stuff. You're like, oh, you get to go to the ball, Cinderella, and you look so beautiful, and oh, you might get to dance with the prince. Also, ah! What once was mouse, suddenly horse. I've got so many questions, man. Like, are they the same age? I mean, like do they have the same lifespan? I mean, do you still like cheese? What's happening? Like, do they have the same gender? Is it a male mouse that is now a female horse? What if it was a transgender mouse? I think it's entirely possible. No, I think it's entirely possible because, you know, we're animals and they're gay animals, so I think there could be a transgender mouse. So now we have a mouse that was born a male mouse, that gender identity is a female mouse, trapped in the body of a female horse! But, you know, have a great time at the party, Cinderella, you know. Be sure to leave by midnight in case any more staggering shit happens. You know, she's a nice girl, but her priorities are fucked up. Anyway, that's my way of telling you that I'm an uncle now! Yay! I'm Uncle Steve! I've always wanted to be Uncle Steve. I'm an uncle to a beautiful 1-year-old niece. She is objectively cute, thank you very much. All your pugly nieces can do one! Crowd work! But yeah, no, the great thing about being an uncle is that I get given just the right amount of responsibility, which is basically fucking nothing at all. It's fantastic. Like, I had to go pretty far off the reservation to screw her life up. But being an uncle's like being Barack Obama. I can't make anything better or worse, because no one will let me. Thank you. The other thing that's great is that now my whole family is obsessed with this little girl, and we're so over my sister. Like, she was like the firstborn, she was the high flyer, first to have a good job, first to get married, and now she gives us this little gift, and we're like, that's great, Sarah. Now go make more! But I want to be the one who shows all the Disney films. I want to be the one who introduces her to that, my niece. And so it has to be in the right order, okay? It has to be 2D, then 3D, then live action, okay? It's special. I'm a purist. Has anybody seen Maleficent with Angelina Jolie? Yeah. She plays the villain in the Disney film Sleeping Beauty, right? But it's a revisionist version. It's still Disney, but they did it in a revisionist version. So Maleficent, the villain, turns out to be a misunderstood hero. So I want to watch it. I'll watch Sleeping Beauty first with my niece, and then afterwards I'll be like, hey, did you like that? You know, it was good, right? What do you think of Maleficent, the villain? You thought she was pretty evil, right? You're living in a dream world! It was the king, he cut off her wings! It's a metaphor for patriarchal abuse, you idiot! The dragon was a false flag! Wake up! Now go to sleep, honey. Uncle Steve loves you. No. Do you guys think I should have kids? No, I'm serious. Like, do you think I should actually have children? It's like, yeah, alright, well, let's get started. Yeah, no, the problem is that I still feel too much like a kid. I think I only just started feeling like a grown-up recently. I lost my virginity very late in the game. I'm not going to tell you exactly when I lost it, but I will say that it was when I was at an age which is older than you think I am now. I do look, I'm older than I look, and that's why I have the beard, because it makes me look older, but if I shave it off, I look like Henry VIII's only male heir to survive infancy. To the ripe old age of 15. I counteract that with childbearing hips, and eyes that look like they've seen something terrible but can't remember it. But my problem was, growing up, I didn't get a lot of sex education. My family never talked about sex. My dad only talked about sex a couple of times, and it was always when driving. He would just be like, you know, that shop over there, it sells pornography. If you needed it, like, I'd be happy to go in and get it for you. And then when I was about 20, that was the first, this is the sequel, always driving, he was like, I hope you're using protection, Steve. And I was like, yeah, you know, sure, Dad. Hadn't even gone on a date yet. And he was like, right, well, that's good, you know, because I just want you to know the worst thing that could possibly happen would be if you got a girl pregnant. And I was like, well, thanks for the advice, Dad. And then the car pulled in and I was just about to get out. And I was like, thanks, Dad. And he was like, seriously, though, the worst thing that could possibly happen. Thanks, Dad. Talk again in 20 years, yeah? Great. The only time I ever had a conversation with my mum about sex, I asked her a question about sperm when I was 11. I said, is it possible to run out? While stocks last, ladies. While stocks last. But no, they ended up sending my niece's mother, my sister, in to talk to me and my brother about sex, which was kind of mortifying, but at least she had information. And I did actually say to her, how many men have you slept with? And she said, she thought about it and she went, less than the cast of Lord of the Rings, but more than the Fellowship. That was her analogy! Oh, my sister is a fucking badass. Thanks, guys.